Hello and welcome to your slightly biased Premier League preview. We've got 9 games coming up this weekend to discuss after the postponement of Aston Villa against Newcastle United due to COVID-19. And Crystal Palace fans, you'll be forgiven for hoping that happens to your game against West Brom so you don't have to endure any more of Roy Hodgson football. They played Newcastle and it wasn't great. Anyway, listen, I'm getting sidetracked here already. We're not even a minute in, I'm already sidetracked. But I'm going to sidetrack you just for a second as well. If you could subscribe to the channel, that'd be much appreciated. 1,000 subscribers is just around the corner already, and I am. Thank you to everybody who's liked it, subscribed or shared it, much appreciated. But anyway, enough with all that stuff. Let's take a look at the Premier League coming up. No Friday night game, that's postponed. So Burnley take on Everton in the lunchtime Saturday game. Burnley got absolutely smashed by City. Expected against. This is the type of fixture that'll suit them a little bit more though. Everton, they're a funny team, aren't they? They look good. They are good sometimes, but other times they're frustrating to watch. They're so restrictive, despite having such creative players in their team, aren't they? I saw them against Leeds. I thought Leeds were, while they had the ball in the net a couple of times, I thought Leeds were the better team. Not by loads. Some pundits have made on Everton were awful. I don't think they were, but I do think Leeds were the much better side. Everton need to do something here. I don't know what. There's a slight change in their formation last week. They were playing with wing backs, but it will be in Davies, wing backs. I mean, it doesn't make sense. They've got that Nkunku. Like I said, I know I'm pronouncing his name wrong. I'm sorry. If you're an Everton fan, let me know how you pronounce it. But Nkunku he looked good. Whenever I've seen him, he looked fantastic. A natural left wing back, not in the team, but instead moving Iwobi, who was arguably man of match the week before at right wing back, moving him over to the left. It doesn't really make sense. I'm hoping Carlo Ancelotti changes something a little bit, because I do like watching Everton play when they're on the ball. They play Burnley, but like I said, I think this is the type of game that Sean Dyche should be looking to frustrate Everton, and sometimes it works. This is when he can nick a 1-0 win or something, because they always get enough points. The question is, will they get enough points this season? They're looking as relegation likely as they ever have done since they've come back into the Premier League, but they always get out of it. They need to get points on the board though sooner rather than later. I'm going to go for a draw in this one actually. I do think the Dyche methods is going to work. I think the Everton sort of lacklustre performances sometimes is going to come to the fore once more. And I didn't mean that to rhyme, by the way. That was an accidental. That was a little bonus for you. A little rhyme for you. So yeah, I'm going to go for a draw in the Burnley-Everton game. And then we're moving back to the Etihad as Man City take on Fulham. City are being City, smashing Burnley. You sort of shrug at it now. You go, all right, okay, next. No surprise there. Torres is looking really good. I've been really impressed by him. Mahrez, obviously, with did he get a hat-trick? I think he got, this is good research, Gio. I'm pretty sure Mahrez got a hat-trick against Burnley. But he played in similar position. It'd be interesting to see if Pep can continue to incorporate both into the team. It's hard to see beyond a home win here. However, Fulham, what a result on Sunday away to Leicester. Monday night. Research is lacking this week. That's just the memory bank. Fantastic result by Fulham. I didn't think they'd beat Leicester. I thought they'd be alright this season. You know, I said in the preview, I think they'll maybe stay up. I've been impressed by them. But Parker now, like I said, he's got his back four now. He looks like he's starting to get that midfield working. Lookman's got his position there. Anguissa was back in and he looked really good as well. He's getting there, Parker. He is getting there. You've got Loftus-Cheek and Tom Kearney now, and you've got Canhas and Reed staying at 11. Those are little problems, but he's now getting a core there. He's getting 7-8 players that can start every week when they're fitting on decent form, and that's important. That is what I think, having that stability in your side is what will help you get you points. And I think stability is the exact thing that one manager in particular is going to be ripping up at the minute, but we'll get on to that in a second. I think City will win, but I think Fulham will put up a fight. I think they'll score at the Etihad. Let's put it like that and leave it like that. Moving on to the evening game, we've got West Ham. My team, unfortunately, is there COVID-19? I'm joking. Taking on Man United. I'm really looking forward to this one, actually. I think West Ham will have one change this week. I think Sebastian Haller will come back in for what was a very unfit Mikel Antonio. But Brent Rama's knocking on the door. He wants to start, deserves to start probably. 2 assists and 2 sub-appearances in the Premier League. Up against Man United, who in the first half against Southampton were dreadful. Really, really bad. But in the second half, they were a lot better, but I think Southampton helped them look really good. And also they had a top striker rolling back the years who is at the time of record, isn't yet suspended, but is likely to be suspended after his social media post. I'm not going to get into that. I don't like political stuff like that. It's not political, but I don't like getting into those debates. I'm leaving that one. So Cavani, no Cavani, we shall see. But that'll make a big difference, because if he is available to play, you'd expect him to start this one. But if not, and if he's on the bench, we all know what's going to happen when he comes on. So I'm going to back my team. I'm going for a West Ham win. There's just something about West Ham recently. They're winning without playing great. There's a lot to be said for that, actually. There is a lot to be said for that. So I'm going to go for a sneaky home win. Maybe, I did say that this show was slightly unbiased. Maybe it's just a lot biased for that prediction. I'm sticking with it. Then we've got Chelsea against Leeds. Ooh, this will be a good game, won't it? Tasty game. I don't know who the referee is, but if the referee is decent, this one could be crunchy. Chelsea were frustrated by Spurs, if you like. I thought it was a decent game between Chelsea and Tottenham. It was an entertaining 0-0, actually. I think it was very chess. You make a move, I make a move. You make a move, I make a move. The managers were then doing different stuff on the touchline come the end of the game. You got the sense that Lampard wanted the extra 2 points, and you got the feeling Jose was maybe happy with 1 point, and so he should be. They're top of the league. He's doing his job. That is what he's there for. But anyway, Chelsea take on Leeds, who had a good win against Everton. Like I said, I thought they played really, really good, and I'm going to go for a Leeds win. I've just got a feeling. I've been impressed by Leeds, and I think Leeds are a team a bit like West Ham this season. When they play a bigger team, they perform better, and I think they're going to do the same at Stamford Bridge. I'm going to go for a Leeds United win at the Bridge. Now moving on to Sunday, West Brom kick us off taking on Crystal Palace. West Brom, big win last week. Thankfully, when you do these, you do your predictions, you always make a couple of big calls and you think, whew, and then when you get it right, you think, that's alright, isn't it? Because then the other ones that you got completely wrong, you don't really care about, because you got one right. You're gonna stick to the one, aren't you? Anyway, I said West Brom beat Sheffield United. I'm having that. I'm claiming that one. That's my victory last week. And I think they're going to beat Crystal Palace again. I think they're going to get 2 wins on the bounce and keep building points and hoping that other teams around them fail to pick up. I thought they looked good against Sheffield United. They're very attacking. Lots of intent there to get goals, and I like that. This is why, for those who don't know, Slav was one of my favourite managers at West Ham, all time that is, not just recently, all time favourite managers. I don't think he's an amazing manager, but I think he's an attacking manager. He wants to win games, he wants to score goals, and that's why I like him in someone on the touchline. And I think he's got that ethos at West Brom. I think he's got to be a little bit cautious sometimes, because his squad's one of the worst squads in the Premier League. It's possibly the worst squad in the Premier League. That's open to debate, but I do think it's in the bottom 2 or 3. All there is to it, I think there's some good players at that club, but I also think there's some championship players at that club. He'll do well to keep them up. Good start last week, good movement, and I think they'll do it again against Crystal Palace, who were just rank. I don't think I've used the word rank since I'm about 15 years old. Anyway, they were awful. Palace were just stinking against Newcastle. I thought Newcastle won, but even they weren't that great. Palace were just that bad. They do have Zaha back. His self-isolating period's over, so they've now got their one player back. I thought Eze looked good against Newcastle, looked busy, but it's just crap, isn't it? I feel sorry for Palace fans and Newcastle fans, actually, but I'm going to go for a home win in another misery week for Crystal Palace fans. Sheffield United take on Leicester, and hear that noise? Well, you can. I'm doing it right in front of my microphone. It's the pressure on Chris Wilder getting cranked up. He seems pretty laid back when you watch him in his interviews. He seems alright. And I think they've been unlucky in games. Possibly you can make a case him being unlucky against West Brom, but you can't stay on 1 point for that long, can you? You've got to get... I almost feel like predicting a draw here through law of averages. I believe in law of averages. Can Sheffield United go another week with just 1 point in total for the season? I don't think they can. So I'm going to go for a draw. Work out that theory. Well, I'm just giving you the theory. Anyway, Sheffield United, sorry. Yeah, they're looking alright, but this is the manager I was alluding to earlier. He needs to rip up his plan. This blueprint he's got, these players he's sticking with, he's got to try something different. There's no point playing Ollie Norwood every single week, because we all know he's going to get subbed. He's the first sub every single week as well. If you are a manager and you are subbing the same player every week, and it's the first sub you make every week, there's a problem with the player. Ollie Norwood is that person. I don't know why he keeps starting him. It doesn't make sense. I'm not seeing him have a good game this season. And he's always getting hooked around the hour mark. So how about you just start someone else, and then you don't have to do the sub. The worst thing is they've got players. They've got Fleck, Berg, Lundstrom, Osborne. They've got enough players to play in the centre midfield role, so they don't necessarily need to play Norwood. But what do I know? I'm just allowing my opinionated, stubborn Scotsman in my sitting room right now. Anyway, they take on Leicester, who had a disappointing result against Fulham. They're a funny team to work out, Leicester, aren't they? One game, they're looking like Champions League contenders. The next, they're getting beat by relegation candidates. What one's going to turn up? I don't know. I think he should have started Harvey Barnes, though. When I saw starting 11, I was a bit confused as to why Barnes wasn't starting. And he comes on and gets the goal. There's a surprise. Before you say anything, in the last video, if you go back and watch, I really like Harvey Barnes. I'll go for a draw. I'll go for a draw on this. But Leicester need to start getting points. If they want to challenge for the top four, and that should be their aim. They need to be getting a win against Sheffield United. And then we've got the North London derby. Will it be as crunchy without fans? Possibly. We've got Spurs against Arsenal. We've got Jose Mourinho, who gets slagged off for being a defensive manager, against Mikel Arteta, who is a defensive manager. I called him the Spanish Allardyce last week, and I'm going to stick with it. Arteta's he's not doing too well, but we'll get on to the league leaders first. Tottenham, good point at Stamford Bridge. I think they're going to get 3 points here. Simple as that. 2-0 Tottenham, 1-0 Tottenham. One of them, I'm going to be putting Tottenham in my accumulator this weekend anyway. I think the way they're playing, it suits Mourinho. I think it actually suits the players now. He's got Højbjerg in there. I think you look at them, it's hard not to be impressed by what Tottenham are doing. They're building a side. They've got a side. They're playing like a side that can win the title. I think the fans going back to the ground, it's bad for Tottenham in the way they play, because it's a bit boring, isn't it? It's very 1-0, 0-0. At Stamford Bridge, you get away with it. The fans, if that was a home game for Tottenham against Chelsea, and it was at home, the fans were there full up, you've probably got a few moans and groans from the home end. Understandably so. You pay good money, you want to see good football, attacking football. So while the fans are not there, or there's only jibs and jabs going in, I think it'll help Spurs massively, and I think they'll get the win again. Arsenal, who got beat by Wolves, and they're just poor. Arteta's got the team set up. He's got some good players there. Has he got his team? No, he hasn't. But listen, there's other managers in this league that don't have their squad yet. They're trying to build something. They need to get. I mean, Sean Dyche, he lost about 5 players in the summer and had about £1 to spend. But yeah, I know they're struggling at the bottom, but you can make excuses for someone like that. But Arteta signed big money players in the summer. It's just not good enough. Aubameyang's turned into the Gabon Yolentin or something since his new contract. He looks rubbish this season. What's happened to him? There's not much to be positive about at Arsenal right now. So Spurs win, and then we finish up on Sunday night with Liverpool against Wolves. I watched the Liverpool game last weekend, and again in the Champions League. Klopp lost it a little bit, didn't he, against Brighton? That was good to see. All the Liverpool players coming out saying they hate VAR. Where were you last season when you won the league with the help of VAR? They're complaining about Robertson conceding a penalty against Brighton. Oh, come on. The penalty that Salah got against West Ham at Anfield earlier this season, it's identical. It is so identical, it's unbelievable. Anyway, and listen, rant about Liverpool. I think they'll win. I think they'll beat Wolves. I was surprised at how good Wolves looked against Arsenal, but then I remember they were playing Arsenal and Arteta is not doing too well there. Then I was no longer surprised. Wolves can be a bit boring. Massive sort of tragedy, I guess. I know he's not dead, but what happened to Raul Jimenez was not nice. It was tough to watch stuff like that. It does make you when he was down for 10 minutes, it does make you reflect on life a little bit, doesn't it? You're sitting there watching, there's not much happening. It does make you feel a bit like, crikey, football is just a game at the end of the day and stuff. So hopefully he gets better and we'll see him on the pitch again. It won't be anytime soon, but I mean, genuinely, again, I hope that he actually can continue to have a decent career in football, because we saw with Ryan Mason, it doesn't always work out. So fingers crossed to receive Raul Jimenez again. I'm going to go for a Liverpool win. Then the Premier League wraps up on Monday night as Brighton take on Southampton. Brighton with a late equaliser against Liverpool. A late deserved equaliser against Liverpool, might I add. Neil Maupay missing a pen and sneaking off, pretending he's injured. You just own your mistake, mate. You missed a pen. It's alright. I'd be surprised if Neil Maupay is not playing on Monday evening, despite him having to go off early last weekend. But I thought Brighton looked really good, to be honest with you. More than deserved their point against Liverpool. And I think this will be a good game. I'm going to go for a draw for Brighton and Southampton. The Saints 2-0 up at half-time against Man United, losing 3-2. It's not ideal, is it? I thought in the first half, though, I thought it was sort of... I don't think Southampton deserved a 2-0 lead. They had their moments, but I think Man United also had their moments and created their chances in the first half. So I think a draw would have been a fair result in the game overall. But they lost it. Not a good thing. Like I said about... I keep referring to West Ham. I'm a West Ham fan, deal with it. But West Ham don't play well, but they're getting the win. Southampton were 2-0 up in that game, perhaps not playing that well. Lost 3-2, and there's a big difference between that. I'm going to go for a draw on this one. And yeah, that is it. That is the end of my Premier League preview. Drop a like on the video if you enjoyed it. Please do subscribe to the channel if you haven't already. Tomorrow, I've got my car bet video coming out. Now, even if you don't like gambling, check it out. Just simply for one reason. I might give someone a bit of money this weekend. I put a £5 bet on a double, and to enter, all you have to do is be subscribed to the channel, which hopefully you are by now. This is the third time I've asked you now, so if not, a bit rude. All you have to do is be subscribed to the channel and leave a comment below the video, and you might win a little bit of money. It's always over 100 quid, so tomorrow, if you watch the video, you might earn 100 quid for 10 minutes of your time listening to me talk about players potentially getting booked in Premier League. Sounds like a good deal. But I would, because this is the Bias Premier League show. Anyway, I'm going to disappear. Catch you in a bit.